Hey, what's going on, guys? New video. I want to talk about social media and how it correlates with, anxiety disorders and depression. Had a conversation the other night with a good friend of mine, and it really got me thinking about how social media can impact, you know, your life. And, if you think about, just take Facebook for instance. You know, really cool invention, really cool tool. And if it's used for what it was designed for, which was to reconnect with, friends and family and, maybe people from your past and things, but it has really kind of become one big dick measuring contest. I mean, isn't that true that it's kind of competitive now? I mean, like the way I look at it is like, we've become a society of abundance as it is. But because of like things like social media, I mean now it's you know, I must have, I gotta have in order to keep up with the proverbial Joneses. And to put your life under a microscope like that, how can that not be self-destructive? You sign into Facebook every single day, and what's the first thing that pops up? You know, little Timmy's on vacation in Tahiti. You know what I mean? Little Lizzie over there, she's got a vacation to Hawaii. Maybe she got a new car, new wardrobe. You see tons of people on there with, going out with all these social events and everything like that, and you can't help but yet to compare it to your own life. I know you've done this because I've done this myself and I've caught myself, but it's something that you do. You can't help but to, microanalyze your own life and wonder why you are not living the same lifestyle as them. And you got to think about how ridiculous this is because you can't compare yourself to pictures and status updates. Granted, you'll sign on and you'll see somebody like, oh, F my life, I didn't get Lady Gaga tickets or something ridiculous like that. But the typical Facebook post is something good that happens in someone's life. And you can't help but see these people's lives turning into somewhat like celebrity. Back in like before internet, before Facebook, before social media, before it was transferred at such a high rate and in your face every second. We only really looked up to celebrities or like, people that were in the media, like on the 6 o'clock news. But now it's like people on your friends list are getting like the celebrity status. In your own mind, where it's like, you're seeing this person and their life is just seems to be perfect. But think about how crazy that sounds. If you actually like would break it down, how many times throughout the year have you had a good thing happen to you, or you've accomplished something major where you could have also posted a picture or thrown it in everyone's face, blah blah blah. Not taking away from anyone. It's like if you have an accomplishment, you want to share it with everybody, that's wonderful. I love seeing those things. People are having kids now. Most of my friends, we're all getting into our 30s. People are acquiring houses and having children and getting second degrees and great jobs and things like that. So congratulations to that. I think that's a great thing if you can see it for what it is. And unfortunately, people start to compare their own lives to what they're seeing online all the time. When you're seeing all these vacations and these new clothes and these new cars and they're having kids, and then you start to wonder why you don't have these things. You know, and instead of you know taking time to maybe like analyze it in a healthy way, you find yourself being bitter and jealous and angry, and you have a lot of regrets, and I didn't do this right and I didn't do that right. And that can't be healthy. You know what I mean? You can't really dispute that. I feel as though if you could really take the time to think about what these people are, doing. They're celebrating an occurrence in their life, and on a format such as Facebook, the last thing you're going to do is, take pictures of, your kid's failing grade or, the argument you have with your husband. Sometimes people vent, but for the most part, people are throwing up, a lot of their successes in life. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that unless you're comparing it to your own successes in life. You know what I mean? When you start to focus on what everyone else is doing, and with it being in your face all the time, which it's, it's a choice to go on Facebook. I mean, I choose to go on it, maybe 3 to 5 times a week. And, I look at all the pictures and everything like that, but I also know that it's common for people to, you know, put up a front. I mean, whether it's intentional or not, I mean, they're not going to post the bad things that are happening in their life. So, I mean, when you're looking at and feeling in a depressed mood, or you're feeling anxious and you're putting all this bullshit pressure on yourself, by trying to compare yourself to what everyone else is doing, self-destructive, not going to put you in a good frame of mind. Instead, look at it for what it is. Look at it as an outlet for people to, be happy about a certain experience in their life or whatnot, and let it be that and that alone. You know, I mean, if you think about, even as recent as like the 90s, I mean, the internet hadn't really exploded yet. And like I said, there wasn't any MySpaces or Facebooks or Pinterests or Twitters or anything like that. So, I mean, really, I mean, if you were like, say, a middle class family, I mean, you were surrounded by middle class people, and all your kids went to that middle class school, and you all drove middle class cars, and you all had the middle class jobs. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you didn't necessarily have reasons to feel so bad about what you've done. But unfortunately, you know, in one way, I mean, now having access to all these other people's lives, in picture form or in status form, excuse excuse me, that comparison is always there. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you're seeing the people that you graduated high school with, or you graduated college with, or people that you used to date, and then you see good things happening to them, or good things happening in their life, and you wonder where you went wrong, which it's totally not accurate. You cannot honestly do that to yourself, because, like I said, people are not going to post their failures. I mean, no one wants to be known as, the failure. Oh, I failed my test. Hey, let's put that on Facebook. Like, that's not going to be the case. Like, typically, the typical person is not going to do that. They're only going to post their successes. And if you continually compare yourself to their successes, it's only a matter of time before you have these self-destructive behaviors, where it's like you start to look at, your relationship and your job, and your just the things that you've acquired over your life, and stop being thankful for them. You know what I mean? It's like you're no longer thankful for your house, because it's like, oh well, so and so over here just bought this huge house, and it's beautiful, and it's in a great neighborhood and everything like that. So you stop being thankful for what you have. You know what I mean? And then it's like you see all these people, you'll see people from high school. It's like, there's that girl I had a crush on, 5 years ago, or something along those lines. And I mean, this has allowed those lines, to be, your lives to be intertwined once again. And I mean, statistics are showing that 22% of divorces are because of social media sites, and social media and internet in general, because you can get in contact with people that, you know, you knew when you were 15 years old. And it's funny how your vision of that person, it hasn't changed much. You know what I mean? It's like you see this person, it's like you almost have those butterflies again. Like you're like, oh, I really had feelings for this person, or this person was really great 15 years ago. But that's the thing. It's like, people change, lives change, and things like that. I mean, it happens every day. So what I propose is to see things for what they are, not worse than they are. Like, see your life, see what you've acquired, and be thankful for it. And it's like, if you're not happy with exactly what you have, then why not figure out a way of acquiring these things? Like, make them goals for yourself. Like, make them your values. Like, don't do it because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, everyone knows you cannot keep up with the Joneses. It's just not going to happen. I mean, if you want to do it for your own reasons, then hell, go for it. I think that's a great thing. But otherwise, I think, like I said, you're being self-destructive. Looking at what other people have and comparing it to yourself, and, basically creating some sort of hierarchy in society, it's just completely unhealthy. And strongly encourage you to see it for what it is. You know what I mean? And do yourself a favor, you know what I mean? It's like if you do something great, I mean, no matter how small it is, I mean, throw it up there. You know, it doesn't everyone feel good, you know, it's like when you graduate college and you put it up there and you get like 3,300 congratulations of, all the people on your friends list. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, take the time to be thankful for the things around you and you'll have something to post as well. You know, instead of consistently focusing on the negative things and the things that you don't have in comparison to the people that you're viewing on Facebook. You know, like I said, it was just a little tidbit. I'm going to have a part 2 to this that's going to explain more or less where your focus should be and hopefully, make yourself feel better about how you are. There'll be a few exercises involved. So, stay tuned. Please watch both videos. I also have a Facebook group page up now if anyone would like to join. I strongly encourage you to do so. There's a lot of good information on there. Just search Power of Self on Facebook. And like I said, hit the like button. Ask me questions. Feel free to private message me. I get back to everybody that I possibly can. And like I said, I hope you enjoy this video and stay tuned for part 2. All right.